Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you could join me for a decorate with me during this lovely quarantine. We did get stuck having to move during the quarantine. This is our second move, pretty rushed, because our first one, we got the slip under the door 5 years ago of we sold the building, get out, and then unfortunately our township rezoned the property that our carriage house that we lived in previously was on, so we had to rush and move. Now, real estate around Philly and the suburbs is pretty dog eat dog. We were like losing so many apartments and they were just so astronomically expensive. So we actually, even though I work in Philly and we live near there, we moved to a country town, kind of like 50 minutes outside the city. So joke's on us because I have yet to commute there. We got this place, it was a little messy. We came in and we cleaned it and we're making it home now, so I'm pretty excited. So now that we're getting settled, we can start decorating. Now, the little thing with that is we can't exactly, be going to Home Goods and TJ Maxx and all the places that we love to actually buy our home decor. So we have to be a little bit thrifty and rework stuff I already have or is in my basement or is still packed in boxes because it's just... Not that I don't love Target and stuff like that. It's just everything online is very cookie cutter and I like being able to like go and Home Goods and TJ Maxx and HomeSense and all those stores, they'll tell me what I need right now. Everything online is just not doing it for me. I had to fix some of the big stuff first, like cleaning up the house because it was a little dingy when we moved in. It was a lot of dingy. I almost moved out. Now it's time to make it like legit home. There's some caveats that it's a rental, so the floor is pretty banged up, and it's a 2003 masterpiece behind me with this chandelier. So we're not going to do anything too crazy, but right now everything's a little bit cluttered. It's a little bit not designed. Not that it's going to be like anything crazy, but it's just a little thrown together because we were getting settled, and now it's time to make the space home. Like, you'll notice that this shelf behind me is just a bunch of tiny pots, a bunch of tiny pieces that just don't look cohesive. It looks very messy. Now, you're gonna notice that I'm a plant mom. So you might be like, whoa, this is just too many plants. Personally, for my style, I don't really know what my style is. I would say it's more like rustic farmhouse boho. I just like a green zen space. I'm constantly pulled between my boyfriend's family is very minimalistic and I love that vibe, but my mom's vibe is, my mom is like a better home and gardens country and I grew up with that. So I'm all like the country and the plants. And so as a plant mom, there's going to be a little more plants, but we need some cohesion here. We just got too much. I just like the light that comes in because the sun sets right over here, so some good light comes in here during the day, so I like that. But we need it to look cleaner. The first thing we're gonna do, of course, is I have a lot of clutter in here. There's some extra like pots and materials that I use to repaint, and we're going to put that away in the shed because it has no business being here. The worst offenders of a space, vertical blinds. So I saw a tutorial online where someone actually pulled each one down and unclipped them individually and reclipped them curtain back up. Now, I bought some curtains on Amazon 2 months ago when we first moved in and I haven't put them up yet, so they're probably super wrinkled, but before I get doing anything too crazy, I feel like this would make a big difference and motivate me because my least favorite part of the house. So let's see if we can unclip these, keep them together so we can clip them back up when we move on out, but they're hideous. Let's get rid of them. Midway through taking down the blinds, but I actually remembered something I really wanted to do while the sun was still up. And that was find these triangle shelves I had in my basement and paint them like a probably like the color of my skirt. I love that like autumny color. So yeah, let's go see if I can find those. Actually, let's finish. We'll come back to the clipping. Welcome to my basement, aka my boyfriend's lair. This is where he does all his gaming and filming and all that fun stuff. But the best store ever is down here because it's free. The basement store. Whoa. Hey, lighting. So, Halloween decorations. Oh, looks like the cats had a field day down here, knocking stuff over. That's cool. That was the easiest find ever. So I have these shelves that I got at the $3 Target section back in the day, and I painted them like so horribly because they were hot pink and I did not want them to be hot pink, but like if you look under some of them, they're all like dripping. Yeah, like look at this. And like you can totally see that. Like why did I think that that was okay? I don't know. But we're gonna take these because why? We already own them. Maybe those honeycombs. No, don't fall, honeycomb. I'll put this in here. And we'll see if we use those honeycombs for something else later.
Why does Target make these so hard to get off?
So I'm actually going to paint those triangle shelves satin spiced amber. It's just like a little bit antique-y looking to me. I mean, I love autumn colors, autumn aesthetic. I mean, look at my skirt right now, but I just thought it was something that could bring a little bit warmer of a vibe. So, you know, let's try. Classic woman move. Noticed that this guy was wilting, so now we're watering him until we can get to painting. We got some sheer Amazon curtains. Hopefully they're not too wrinkled. Let's see if this little blind trick works. So this requires a bar. So let's see if the hookup works. It's not gonna work. Damn it. It's ripping it. Okay, so we can't do that. Damn it. Those are the things to stand on. Now that our super wrinkly curtain is hung, we can get to a little bit of decorating. I want to get back to spray painting. So these are from the Dollar Tree, and I want to experiment in making them like a boho rustic farmhouse type little vases. So this is going to be different for me, but I love like white and cream and almond colored texturized vases. They're very like anthropology. They're very, I see them everywhere, but every time I see them in Target, they're like 30 bucks or like $24.99, and I want like a set. So I don't want to like just buy like a set and like pay $100 for some decorative glassware. So we are going to attempt to turn these dollar store vases with the help of some Rust-Oleum bonding primer, Krylon Fusion all-in-one paint and primer matte white, and protective in French beige, rich and elegant textured finish. So this is like a texturizing finish that I want to like spray on the finished product. So I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't even know if I like the color of the shelves that I did, but we're just doing projects together. That's why we're just doing decorating together. Life pro tip. The caveat to the dollar store and the Target dollar section is the stickers on their products are literally permanent. So if you put a paper towel in hot water and then just saturate, it'll peel right off. So here is everything I want to spray. Dollar store bottles and this Target T-Rex that I love, but unfortunately he is, you know, he's a little dirty. I should probably clean him out before I spray, but yeah. So this is everything that I'm gonna spray paint, and we're gonna see how it turns out. I hope it turns out good because these are actually bottles I own, and I hope I don't mess them up. He's gotta get sprayed.
Going away? About what? It's true. I'm staying here.
Now it's time to kind of figure out the configuration of this. Generally in a bookshelf you want bigger items down there and you want to get slightly airier up top. I'm a plant person, we talked about this, and my beautiful Anthurium forgetii loves this spot, and I don't want to move him if he's doing so well. He's sprouted 2 new leaves, so I would feel way too guilty. You plant people know. If you move your plant, you're always asking for trouble. Let's just get everything off the bookshelf and start it. So I'm out of painter's tape, so we've got to use gloves. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Guys, Scotch tape and dog poop bags it is. So originally I tried to put a dog poop bag over the vase and it wasn't working out, so that's what we're doing now with the dog poop bag, because taping it was taking the paint off because it's not sealed, so now we're just gonna paint it like that. All right, we got our dog poop vase-ish vases dripping. Not the greatest, but dollar store life, you know. Now I'm gonna try to see what it looks like if we texturize these suckers. That's a little too close. Good thing I tested it on that. I'm sucking at this. I'm sweating after doing those paints, but oops. This guy. So I would love to do an accent wall, but unfortunately this space is a little cramped down here so that, you know, the kitchen and this room and the living room are all kind of just one blended space. And I have kind of a busy style with a lot of plants, so putting an accent wall up I think would just be a bit too much for this space. So I love that like mod black and white wallpaper where it's like the speckled like stripes and dots, and I think it's really cool. To make up for the fact that I think that a whole wall of that would be just too much, I have a $2 8x10 frame from Walmart. Got a canvas from the Dollar Tree. I bought this $1.10 per a paint, and I bought a 6-pack of these at the dollar store. And what do we get? We get, you can get a canvas. So the canvas is $1, the frame is $2, the paint was $1, so that's like a $5 investment for like a little mod art piece. And I thought maybe putting it somewhere on this wall somewhere would help me, you know, see the swatch of wallpaper I would kind of be feeling in my space and be happy with just this little thing without having to be super busy. I mean, if we're only gonna be here for a year, I've already put in too much work for a year, you know? So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you have a tall planter with a short pot to be stuck down there, you just put a couple rocks down in the pail. And voila, he fits perfect. Hello, we're sweeping now. So if you want to know how I ended up with paint all over my hands and only one sock with dirt all over my foot, well, mental illness check. I need to focus on one project. I started the shelf, went back out and did the paint. I started painting something else, then I started drawing something. You make me feel like na 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 na. I may be like, Meg, why is this shelf so off center? It's not exactly against the wall, it's not exactly over there. I want it to be close enough to the window so that it gets plenty of light for my plants, but I don't want it to be smack against here because actually the least amount of light your house is gonna get is this corner because no light is gonna penetrate that corner. So if I put a plant here, the light from here can penetrate it. So I can't put it all the way over here, but I could put a really low light plant in this corner. Now, let me back you up so you can see what this corner looks like. There's so much stuff, we're really dealing with limited space here. So as you can see, this corner is kind of like, just kind of open. I think I'm gonna take, actually, this plant stand I already have. And over here, I have this basket that I use for throws, but I'm not in love with the way it looks with the throws in it. So let's see if we can make it a planter for a low light plant in this corner that's not going to be mad at me if I put it there. We'll play with that. Oh, hi. It's a little dreary, it's a little rainy, but I'm having a little bit of a decor block right now because everything's pulled apart and I just get that like overwhelm where I'm like, I need to step away from this for a second. I don't know what is going on in the burbs. Okay. Anywho, maybe it's someone's birthday or wedding or something like that. But, right, like the beeping thing was cute like the first week of quarantine. I'm kind of over it now. It's time to go pick some wildflowers because they're free. We can walk to a field nearby with a bunch of wildflowers and it's gonna help me just get a walk and clear my mind and think about what I want to do with the space. So I'm gonna cut through my neighbor's yard. Let's go. these are the wildflowers that I picked. These are wild phlox. Now they were beautiful purple and white, and I chose mostly white, but a lot of the white have this purpley lilac pink tinge to it, which is actually really pretty. But it mostly comes off like these are white, but these are like lilac. Couple things about picking wildflowers is you always want to pick them pretty long, because if I want them to be shorter, I can always cut them shorter. But the problem is if I want them to be longer, I can't cut anything to be longer. So I always try to cut them as long as possible. So it's a little messy, but I actually like the long vibe right now, so I'm gonna cut them a little bit. And then these are just like leafy things that I saw in the field. Like, who cares? Like, as long as you're not picking poison ivy, don't pick poison ivy. You can really use any leafy, like sometimes tall grass is very beautiful in your wildflower bouquets. So I'm gonna chop this little guy up and just make him look a little more cohesive in this little spot. So in this corner, I put up the triangle shelves that we painted, and they didn't come out as autumnal colored as I thought. They came out pretty Nickelodeon colored, but I think I can make it work. I don't know. The only question is, that guy accepted. Alright guys, after everything was said and done with spray painting the dollar store vases, they didn't come out perfect because I kind of rushed myself and it was raining outside, and you know, that's just who I am as a person. But I actually think for dollar stores, and my first time doing it, they came out pretty decent for, you know, doing them half white, half French spray beige, and some texturizing on them. So I think they're gonna look cool in my space in terms of, yeah. So usually you buy stuff at this, like at Target and Anthropologie for an arm and a leg, and I wasn't doing that. So dollar store tries, I think we did pretty good. Woo!